All right, my Business 139 seated students, I hope you guys are doing well, hanging in there. I want to talk about your uh, working while away in class project. And I mean in class because, obviously we need to translate and substitute what we normally would be doing in class to the online environment. So, if you haven't watched my previous video on updates and your case study on observation, which has a lot of good information, hopefully for you, in terms of direction for you to go in this class over the next 2 weeks, watch that and work out of your working while away folder. What I want you guys to do is I provided a template for you guys. Let me just pull it up right here. So let's start at the beginning. The effects of this coronavirus on small business has been devastating. I am just blown away in a shocking way how in just these few short weeks that the coronavirus um, did its damage. It wiped out over $3 trillion worth of market value, which is absolutely insane. We talked about, the overwhelming majority of private enterprise consists of small business, and the small business is defined as 500 people or less. So I want you guys in this assignment to do a couple things, okay? This is your deliverable, which you'll modify. I also want you to narrate this, and I showed you guys how to do find the narration for your version in the previous video. So I want you guys to narrate it. I want you to make it your own. As we talked about, an entrepreneurship presentation is a big part of it. If the product or service could be the best product or service in the world, but if it's a subpar presentation, that's going to make a lot of negative effects. Conversely, is your product and service may not be the best, although you want it to be the best quality that it can be, the packaging and presentation is really going to make a difference. That being said, I want you to make this your own. I want it to be a best version of you in terms of your sorry, my t-shirt's all coming apart here. I've been sitting for a long time, too long. In fact, I got to get up and take a walk. Both of my gyms are closed. My gym on campus, well, because the campus is closed, and my gym where I live in the complex is closed, so it's a bit challenging for me. But anyway, it's JCC did the right thing by closing, like I said before, and even our complex, our fitness center's closed, our pool area is closed, our coffee area is closed, but again, it's needed. So anyway, sorry, I digress a little bit. I'm getting a little stir crazy here. Been sitting too long. But that being said, I want you to narrate this just like the other one. I want you to make it your own. Choose the template colors and designs to really make it pop for you. And then what I want you to do is slide 2. I have some sobering, and I'm sure you guys have seen them, but some sobering articles on not only how the effects of the coronavirus on the U.S. economy, which is the first article, also an article on the economic hit for small businesses and its cascading effects. I want you to watch these 2 articles, and the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal's one has a video, and then what I want, the federal government is putting forth this huge stimulus package, which is needed. It's over $1 trillion, and it's 3-pronged. There's stimulus, economic stimulus to individuals, economic stimulus to small businesses, and overall economic stimulus to help expand the economy to regain that over $3 trillion of market value that we lost. That being said, I want you to focus on how the federal government is responding to the small business prong. Okay, so again, I've got an article here to sort of get you kick-started. And then what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to do some research. Now, you should be spending some time. Again, the assignments that I've put in your working while away folder is meant to substitute for the 4 meeting times that we're having. So you've got Tuesday, Thursday, an hour and 15 minutes. So that's 3 hours. The following Tuesday, Thursday, that's 3 hours. That's 6 hours. So I am expecting you guys to, do some solid research here. Spend an hour researching, spend a half hour, 45 minutes, putting together a presentation that's a thoughtful presentation. It has an impact. So do some research, even outside of the Wall Street Journal. Make sure it's credible, but do your research. And I want you to highlight 3 small business or entrepreneurs showcase. It could be either a positive highlight in terms of, wow, look at what these entrepreneurs, these small businesses are doing and how they've endured, right, despite what's going on. Or it could be some realistic, this is the negative impact to this particular business or entrepreneur. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3 showcases. I want you to write a little bit about why you chose it, what's the impact, good or bad, what you've taken away from that, and then also I need the article or video link for each. Okay, and then your final not your final, but your second to last slide is I want an overall summary of how this pandemic has shaped the entrepreneurial spirit for better. I want you to end the entrepreneurial showcase on a positive. I mean, the resiliency that's coming out of the small business owners of this country is absolutely amazing, as well as the individuals. But because we're an entrepreneurial class, I want you to focus on the entrepreneurial spirit. And again, find some examples, find some stories, put a few bullets about it, and then put your link. And then finally, I want you to, this goes back to the second slide. I want you to write some bullets on the federal government's plan to help small businesses and its intended impact. And again, cite your sources. Now, one of my favorites, one of my favorites is entrepreneur.com. One of my other favorites for economic news, business news is the Wall Street Journal. I find it to be the least biased out of a lot of the journals out there. Unfortunately, a lot of newspapers nowadays are just garbage. It's really just propaganda and bias. So Wall Street Journal, in my opinion, is one of the few publications that still remains not much bias. So that being said, it is subscription based. Okay. Good news is you have access to the Wall Street Journal subscription as being a student for JCC. So I'm going to show you how to access that subscription. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do, and I put the little link right here in slide number 3, you're going to click on this link, the ProQuest link. I'll show you. I'm going to walk you through it. So you click on the link. And by the way, I mean, don't just use this for Wall Street Journal. There is over $10,000 worth of subscriptions that are available to you guys in all disciplines. So use these as part of your research for your other courses as well. So you're going to come to the page and you're going to enter your institution name, which obviously Johnston Community College. Find. You'll see it comes up. And now what you're going to do is down here, you can do one of 2 things. You can click log in, or you can put your username and password. It's still going to ask you for it. So even if you do username and password, if you don't do it there and you do it here, like I said, it's the same screen as far as username and password. And then what you're going to do is click on login. And your username and password is whatever the same username you used to get into your, your computers, your email and things of that nature. Your email, the log on to the computer, etc. This particular link, like I said, takes you to Wall Street Journal. And then you can browse specific issues, start with 2020, March. You've got the paper is a daily paper. Except for weekends, you get 1 edition for the weekends. But again, search for, entrepreneur, economic impact, small business, and again, use that. It's a great resource. And you've also got, like I said, tons of other databases. There's also another entrepreneur database in here as well, just to give you some other ideas. So you've got entrepreneurship database. Again, articles, videos, market data, it's phenomenal. And then you've also got the ABI Inform collection is a lot of business stuff in there. But again, if you go through it, there's tons and tons of databases in here for you guys to use. So that being said, utilize the Wall Street Journal. But just to review, the effects of the coronavirus on small business, this is a jumping off point to give you some initial resources and information on the economic effects of the coronavirus on the U.S. economy overall, and also specifically small businesses. The next slide is going to give you a jumping off point for how the federal government is responding. But again, even though it's three prongs, I just want that second prong in terms of U.S. U.S. small businesses, right? And then you've got your entrepreneur showcases 1, 2, and 3. You've got I want to know how this pandemic has shaped the entrepreneurial spirit for the better. It shows the resolve of America and American people. And then the federal government's plan to help with small businesses, intended impact. Give me between 3 and 5 bullets, and make sure you cite your sources and submit. I look forward to working with you online, reading your fine deliverables, and returning to normalcy and getting back to class. But anyway, you all hang in there, and peace out.